Threshold number 6, written by Keith Giffen, art by Phil Winslade and Tom Rainey. So last issue, Jediah Call got out of Brainiac's tube thing and made a deal with Brainiac to just basically bail. And that's more or less where it ended. So as he's sitting on an astronaut outside, he's like, okay, I should just wait here. I need to chill and make sure, like, how long should I give her? Just referencing this her. And then he thinks back to, boy, why was I even made a Green Lantern? Why did the ring choose me? And we get a glimpse of him as a soldier of some sort shooting a Green Lantern in the head with a laser, and then the ring just immediately goes over to him. And so that was that. Then we go back into the bottle where K-Rot and Slug Guy, I keep forgetting what his name was. Adonis? That sounds right. They're talking to each other about, like, yeah, makes sense Jediah just bailed on us. After all, everyone who wants to kill him is inside of this bottle, so yeah, it makes sense that he would just want to leave. So I guess we really don't have anything to do about that. And then they talk about how the fact that once you're put into these bottles, apparently like 27% of the cities that are collected eventually just descend into anarchy, and Brainiac has to intervene and say, like, hey, cut it out or I'm going to break you. So at this point we see Brainiac looking over his bottle and he's like, all right, I don't like the fact that a Green Lantern came out of there. Go ahead and like put a sweep around our entire ship. I want to make sure he didn't put anything in. And then all of a sudden, he like pauses. He has to repeat the order to the computer, and the computer's just like, yeah, I heard you the first time. Sorry, I'm still just adjusting to my new surroundings. And we see that the AI of the robot woman that he picked up the AI chip from was inserted into Brainiac's ship. And I'm blanking on it. It's like Ilda, I believe. So Ilda is inside Brainiac's ship and just like, yeah, I'm taking over your ship, dude, because I'm not a virus. I'm just a totally separate AI. And Brainiac thinks back to when Call could have done this, and it was during last issue. And he's just like, all right, this guy sucks. And he takes out the AI chip, but Ilda's already inside. So Ilda sicks all of Brainiac's little worker drones on him. And he's just like, oh, and thanks for pointing me to your security protocols when you were trying to stop me. That's really useful to me. And all he cares about, he's like, don't kill me in here, my collection's in here. And he's just like, well, then stop fighting and I won't have to like maneuver around you. So Brainiac more or less lets Ilda take over his body. And at that point, Jediah comes back in and is like, oh, hey, I timed that just right. So what's going on? How's it going? And she's just like, what were you thinking? Do you understand how much brain power it's taking me to hold back Brainiac? He keeps on trying to take control. And just like, yeah, no, great. Anyway, tell him I need to renegotiate our agreement. And just like, oh, tell him yourself. He's still able to hear. He's still in here. I'm just more or less the top layer. And so Jediah holds his ring to Brainiac's head and said, you're going to restore the city or I'm going to blow your brains out. And there's no response. He counts down 3, 2, and then all the city itself is just escape potted out. It just shoots out of the ship, and turns out Brainiac managed to retake control and delete Ilda and just be like, yeah, that was annoying, and you're more annoying. How dare you? And so he picks up Jediah, snaps his neck, and throws him out of the ship and says, like, all right, so call up Lady Styx of the Tenebrian Dominion. I lost my city, so we're renegotiating our terms now because this is just unacceptable. So Jediah gets thrown out. As Brainiac says, perhaps I'll just go back to the Kryptonian. He was much more interesting. And Jediah is like, okay, bad news. I'm paralyzed from the neck down. Good news. I'm still wearing my ring, so I can use my willpower to make myself a suit that will allow me to still move. And so he does that. He grabs hold of the Bottle City with his Green Lantern powers and says, all right, time to go play hero. Meanwhile, I have no idea what's happening here. I read this part of the book 3 times and I'm still not sure. So we have Rick, who I think it was Space Ranger is his name, or maybe that's the other guy. I don't know. Regardless, he goes into the bar where their secret resistance thing is. He goes down, and basically this entire sequence is to show that Ember, the girl who got shot in the head, I believe last issue, has come back. She came out of this tree, she is reborn, and she's like, I'm just gonna go freshen up. Hey, how's it going? And they're just like, yeah, people have collected her bounty like 4 times. I'm sure she's given them quite the headache. That's what her usefulness is that she cannot die by whatever weird rebirth reason this is. And then the other thing is that Lonar, the guy who thinks he's a god, is currently talking to Blue Beetle, and they're just discussing that as to whether or not it's going to be a problem. So then all the alarms go off. Oh, there's a Lantern Warrior entering into Team space. It's Call. He's coming back in, bringing the Bottle City. And so a bunch of ships pull up and start firing on him. And he's like, you idiots, I'm trying to bring back the city and make a deal for my life. Like, that's... I'm trying to help, all things considered, but he is super pissed off about everything that's happened. He uses his ring and just destroys all the ships at once. And all the crowds are able to see this via the glimmer net, and they're all cheering him on like, oh my god, he's so cool. He's my #1 favorite now. And we then see Lonar and Blue Beetle are also watching this on the screen, and Lonar's like, hey, here's the thing. I've been telling you about the games and all that, but I can also get you home, and I can remove the scarab from you. I am Lonar. I am God. I can do that. And Blue Beetle's like, seriously? You can do that? And he's like, yes. But as long as you help me, I'll help you. And he's like, what? Or else you'll have to kill me or something like that? And Lonar just goes silent, and Blue Beetle's like, hello? Please tell me you're not going to kill me? So then we get one last thing of Star Hawkins, the guy who was the husband to Ilda. And he's looking all sad. And so he hops on the phone and says, hey, get me another fembot, add in the bodyguard standard stuff. And he pulls out another AI chip from his drawer and says, damn it all, Ilda. So, yeah, that's that. Also, the backup stories in these now have to do with Star Hawkins, but I will get to that on a 5th week. It's fine, I guess. I'm lost on this book. Like, I don't know what it's really trying to do anymore. I was really into it when it was just Hunger Games in space, more or less. But, like, now it's added in all this stuff of, oh, Brainiac stole a city, and, oh, there's this woman who can die, but, like, she comes back, and we got Star Hawkins doing whatever. We got this resistance that, like, you feel like would be the focal point, and yet somehow is the least focused on thing, short of Blue Beetle and Lonar, who, as an established character and a theoretical god, you'd think would be bigger deals, but they've had a total of like 3 pages over the past 4 issues. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of lost on this book, and it's not doing anything to gain any favors with me. If we can manage to pull it back, I'm down with it. I'm open to liking this book, but it doesn't seem like it's really going for anything right now. It just is kind of this weird, quirky cast, and the barest of threads of what is Jediah Call going to do today, threading it all together. So I'll give this one like a... I mean, I like the Brainiac stuff, but I can't give it more than a 6. It's just, it's not all there. It doesn't know what it wants to do. And the fact that it's ending in 2 issues time, I don't think it's going to get there. So 6 for this, and please figure out what you're doing.